All right, guys, welcome to Optimizing Forward, guys. I'm gonna make a live stream for you guys today. Um, Obviously, it's been a minute since I made a live stream. As usual, it's always been a minute. It seems like. Um, Gonna make a live stream today. Let me fix that light, guys, because that light is really annoying me. Give me one moment. Uh, One moment, guys. All right, guys. So I've been a little bit under the weather today. My sleep schedule, I haven't been able to get too much sleep. But nevertheless, uh, I guess what we should talk about is the topic of the video, and that's going to be martial arts, right? So I guess like I'm just not training chess anymore again for like the eighth time in a row. I've given up on the goal. I can't seem to make up my mind anymore these days. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to pursue training chess anymore. If you see that video from like 5 months ago to right now, you know, there's been basically no improvement, right? Or very little improvement, that is. Obviously, I still love playing chess, still enjoy it a lot. At this time, maybe I'll pursue that goal later, but I don't know. I just feel like when I'm playing too much chess, I'm neglecting other things I should be doing. So I think for that simple reason, I'm not going to pursue it any further. Um, but in exchange, I've been thinking about. I signed up for a month of jujitsu and Krav Maga classes, and I guess I haven't done anything major, and I would say maybe I don't know, 6 months or something like that, or no, maybe 9 years since I last did judo, and that was in 2017, I believe, 2018. So it's almost been about 8, 9 years, right? Um, and it's kind of crazy because when I did that almost 8 years ago, right, that was my first exposure to martial arts. It's something I've always wanted to do. There's a lot of things I've always wanted to do, and I was like, well, let's try it out. And we went to the mats. Uh, Immediately, I started to remember, like, damn, this is actually a lot of the things that I like seeing. It has a lot of discipline to it. It's got a small degree of camaraderie. I mean, again, if you ever go to the mats or if you ever, do jujitsu or Krav Maga or any martial art, don't fall into the notion that most of these people are your friends. It's cool to make friends with people, but they're really just there to get their capabilities better. But that's up for another conversation. So I was talking to a couple of the guys, whatever, um, we had the black belt, started talking to them. Just very typical, boring conversations. Very, very typical. These are the rules of rolling. Blah blah blah. Don't hurt anybody. And I was just kind of ignoring what he was saying. I was just like, whatever. I really don't care. Of course, you care about the rules, but I was like, yeah, I want to focus on the things I'm interested in. And what I was interested in, I was mainly paying attention to a lot of the rolling and stuff. And I was like, damn, I definitely don't want to hurt myself. And ironically enough, what ended up happening was I did hurt myself. Actually, that's why I've been in bed all day today, guys, is because like my legs like really fucking hurt. Like my knees are a lot of pain. Both I have like a really bad rash on one of my knees right here. As you can see, guys, I kind of yeah, this is just from one day of rolling, by the way. And then I kind of messed up my toe, right? And I was like, damn, I should have bought a gi. Um, so I might not go on Tuesday's classes because my legs really hurt, and I think I don't want to blister my leg too much. Yeah, it's probably going to take about a week to recover on skin. I literally ripped the skin off. But so the point of this video, right, is that like I think things that help with consistent self-improvement, right? Because that's literally what I fucking want. Consistency. The thing that a lot of us lack, right? Consistent, deliberate, long-term effort that is unchanging. In order to get that, right, you need a structure, some type of component or something that you're pursuing that can enable greater capabilities, right? So in this sense, I thoroughly enjoyed the martial arts class. We learned, I think the rear naked chokehold, like this other arm bar movement, like 3 holds, right? And I was like, I'm not too sure about these movements. Tried doing them. I rolled maybe like 4 or 5 times. It's really an interesting type of state to be in when I'm trying to, I don't want to say attack the other opponent, but that's what it felt like. So in that sense, I like the class because it's like I'm trying to like dominate the other person to some degree, or it's like there's like this component of strategy that I was enjoying about it that I kind of miss because like in chess, you kind of have that same feeling. And I kind of like that feeling about martial arts because like there's a good degree of strategy involved. There's an idea of trying to outwit the other opponent. Unfortunately, but some of the downsides, since some martial arts, I was noticing a lot of these guys are way bigger than me. So there's also kind of a brute force method to it because it's like if these guys are just bigger than you, they're just simply going to beat you. So in that sense, it's not as interesting. But if it's somebody who's like within your weight category, then it becomes very interesting. But my point is, right? So in terms of self improvement, right? I think that I think at a minimum, most people should have a basic, self defense capabilities. Someone's disrespectful of the bar. I think you should be able to beat his ass, for lack of a better word. If there's a criminal trying to take something, you should be able to neutralize him. So, in reality, guys, you don't really need to be an elite level person to neutralize somebody who's a threat, right? All you really need are the basics, and that will get you very far. Kind of, I'm not super interested in Krav Maga, but it's like it's one of the more deadly um, martial arts that can kill you, and it's like that kind of fits my psychology for martial arts because I can execute a great deal of capabilities in the shortest amount of time and leave the situation. Because in street fighting or any type of fighting, that person can try to take your life, right? They can try to, just take your life, take your money, take your resources, take something from you. If you're a girl, even worse, right? So it's like, um, yeah, I think there's just something about that camaraderie. I was liking a lot of things that the black belt was saying. He says, when we come here, we ordinarily bow to show respect to the elders. We follow a certain type of ethos. So it was kind of lining up with a lot of things that I like. It's like a lifestyle, way of life. It has a lot of philosophy. It teaches discipline, work ethic. So I definitely think if you're lacking in those things, I would try a martial art. I really would. I just think it's really cool. It's just like and it also kind of gives you a structure. It gives you something you can go to a couple times a week, rather than staying in your room all day or just like playing video games, right? Video games, obviously they're very addictive, of course, like YouTube and all that shit. But like if you could just do something else that's interesting, then that's always good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to add to this. I feel like I'm rambling in a lot of these videos. You know, Definitely, I guess if you get into a martial art, make sure you wear a gi. If you're rolling a lot, make sure you don't go to full intensity right away because you can, like, guys, even with some of the things I was doing when I was trying to be careful, you can kind of break bones like really fast. Like the arm bar, if they do it too hard, you'll break your elbow. If they twist too hard, you'll break something. So you always make sure that when you're with your opponent that they know the limitations and not go too far, right? Because once you break something, you're kind of fucked. Krav Maga is not really a sport in which you can practice too much because all the activities are deadly. I did judo maybe like 9 years ago, and that's entirely different, right? That's more epponing somebody using uchimata, the taiotoshi, the leg sweep, that type of stuff in order to negate your opponent and neutralize them, right? But I do think there's just a great component, I think, of self-improvement if you can increase your latent violent capabilities to where if someone has a boundary, you have a boundary and they violate it, then you can punish them harshly should they not respect you. Okay. And I think this is a very common thing, especially if you're like a smaller guy, if you're not really a big person. I've often noticed a lot of bigger people will try to take advantage of their size, try to belittle you, that type of stuff. And now, of course, it won't make up for the height difference, but it will at least create another deterrence, if you will. There's also another good factor of toughening you up a bit, I would say. That's kind of interesting. You definitely need to get used to the physicality of martial arts. It's not something, if you're not used to like people touching you, that type of shit, I suggest you build up to it. And you're gonna have to get used to some degree of pain, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty painful. It kind of is. Like even on the first day of rolling, right? I was in some positions like, damn, that really fucking hurts. That hurt. Like he was bending the snot out of my elbow. It was like, holy crap! Like it felt like he could probably break it, guys. And I've been lifting for about 10 years, right? And like I got this muscle holding my elbow together. I was like, damn, even with all that lifting, he can easily just snap my elbow like a twig, right? So I was like, damn, not only do I need to train even more, because now I feel like I need to get even stronger still. And it just shows that like in martial arts, it also, the nice thing also about like martial arts, I feel like, is it gives you a sense of progression, which I personally find addicting, right? It's the same shit, right? You start as a white belt, blue belt, brown belt, whatever, purple belt, black belt, right? And they have this whole entire system by which you can strive to the greatest level of capabilities. And then by you proving yourself and testing yourself and competing against other men, I think that you're going to go very far in your psyche, in your psychology versus another person. Okay. And I think that's tremendously valuable. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to add to this video. And obviously martial arts is going to be humbling as well, because you're just going to lose you're just going to lose, right? You're not going to win every single roll. You're not going to win every single spar. Just like same thing in chess. You're not going to win every single chess battle. You're going to lose some and you're going to win some. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I have to report for right now. I'm going to be starting more classes next week. So I'm looking forward to it, and that's all I have for you guys. Thank you. And also, guys, message me, guys, if you want any self-improvement coaching. I charge an hourly rate, so just message me. I made a post on the community post if you guys are interested in anything. Again, I'm going to try to make more content if I feel motivated. Like I said, guys, I haven't really had much inspiration to make too much content of anything. I feel like with AI, artificial intelligence, all this stuff, I have no real motivation. I'm not really particularly interested in I don't want to say not trying to help people, but I'm just not really interested in it anymore. But I will still run this YouTube channel because I still like making videos. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.